I know technically by all accounts, the subject of today's video really wouldn't necessarily warrant this, but, with the setup that I have right now, where it appears is that, I'm off camera, and now I'm back on camera for the most part like this. But this is actually something that I've been hearing about forever. Like, forever. Like, pretty much all throughout the 2010s in some way or another. But before I get into that, I have to do my low, my high, my of kindness. Oh boy, I actually have a couple of lows. For starters, I was in Wegmans yesterday. I had everything, ready to go. And I'm at the checkout aisle with my groceries. And funny enough, I don't have my wallet on me. So I look all over the place, look all over the store. I'm actually about to leave after putting all the groceries I had away because I figured it'd be rude just to leave them in a cart somewhere. And I'm about to leave. I look down in that area between the driver's seat and I guess the armrest or whatever, and there my wallet was. So yeah, that was a big time waster. That was wonderful. That area next to the driver's seat that you can barely put your hand in. Seriously, I gotta get myself some guy invented some sort of bucket or something that you can shove in there and nothing will ever get lost on there again. That's actually a really smart invention. I don't care what anyone says. So that happened. Oh, and also this morning as I was cleaning up, I broke a measuring glass. So yeah, I must have vacuumed my area that entire area 3 separate times. Cause I was finding glass, how was seriously, forget sand being impossible to remove out of your home. Glass is worse. At least you can actually walk on sand. Glass, well, do I even need to tell you how bad glass is when you step on it, especially in bare feet? Yeah, it's not pretty. Not pretty at all. It also doesn't really help the fact that the pick I made last night, the Bears won. I actually wanted the Buccaneers to win. What can I say? I guess Nick Foles has Tom Brady's number. So that was my collective low for today. My high, I did get to talk to my mom a little bit. That was pretty dope. And I haven't talked to my mom since I think Saturday night, or maybe it was Monday night or something. I don't know. Plus, I also made a couple of pickles. I feel really good about that. I just have the pickling bug lately. The instant I run out of pickles, I just want to make myself some more. And now I play the waiting game because I actually made both pickled onions and pickled actual pickles, with cucumbers, out of slices. And for the cucumbers, I have to wait 4 days. And this was after 10 o'clock at night when I was finally done. So just after 6 o'clock in the morning. So now I gotta play the waiting game till, let's see, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. At least until after Monday night in order to have them. But hey, you know what? It's fine. It practices patience, which, is good. The onions technically I can have any time, but, the longer you wait, the better. The onions I got earlier this week, Monday, Tuesday. Anyway, I think Monday I did 4 jars of pickled onions, and Tuesday I did 8 jars. Seriously, making pickled onions is I love doing it, but man, is it a real time consumer. I do that extra step where you have to boil the onions before you put them in the jars. It's a little bit messy, but I will admit it actually does make a huge difference in terms of flavor. I actually thought I wouldn't mind the raw onion juice, but no. If you boil, it's an optional step technically. I don't have to do it, but I do it anyway because I actually care about, what I make. you don't really have to boil your onions before you put them in jars, and then you pour your brine on them. I just simply do it because I hear a lot of people do it. It really does make a difference in terms of flavor. And you are less likely to like have the onions go bad because, you know, you sort of like weaken the cell walls, and it's complicated stuff that you don't need to hear about. And my act of kindness was, darn, I don't have an act of kindness. Well, I guess it's a little selfish to say to the act of kindness for myself because it goes back to when I thought I lost my wallet. I went to the service counter at Wegmans, you know, asking, you know, if they see a wallet anywhere. And when I found my wallet again, you know, I went up to them and, you know, I said, you don't need to call me anymore. You know, I found my wallet. It was between, you know, the area of the car where you can't fit your hand next to the driver's seat. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say on the matter. So, with that said, good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Before I get into the main topic of conversation, I do need to talk about yesterday's episode of Hot Ones, because it actually does, in a way, sort of go into what I'm talking about today. And I kept saying yesterday's guest was Ronda Rousey, and needless to say, I mean, she had a struggle, as many people do, but, you know, she powered on through. It was awesome. You learned a lot, like how wings are like her victory meal, which, okay, I am so kind of upset that she's married because, you know, Miss Rousey, I would like to let you know that I am single. Just to let you know. I doubt you'll ever watch this, but whatever. Seriously, wings are the hors d'oeuvre of my full course menu of life. And I think she may actually have a greater love of wings than I do. I did not think that was possible. No one has a greater love of wings than I do. A real man only has blue cheese. Yeah, she actually had hers with ranch and blue cheese, but considering it's Ronda Rousey and she could totally, you know, kick my butt, and that's putting it mildly, she can do whatever she wants. She's cool. Alright, so that happened, and I forgot to mention how much Ronda Rousey actually really likes anime. I completely forgot all about that part. I mean, it's the sort of thing where, like, I remember hearing about it, but I just forgot it later. Which, I mean, she's a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, which, not gonna lie, that was definitely my jam back in the day. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people. You know, I love watching them power up for like 5 minutes at a time, yelling and screaming and fighting. Oh, that's great. I love it so much. But that's not here or there. Speaking of anime, though, let's talk to the real thing I want to talk about, and that is what I think I'm talking about today. Believe in the me that believes in you. That may very well be the ultimate message of what I came to talk about today, and that is an anime that I've been meaning to watch forever. I finally got around to doing it, and I have some thoughts on it, and that is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, or Gurren Lagann if you want to be just specific. So, a little bit of backstory. I've heard about this all over the place over the years. How great it is, how fun it is. There's a lot of like underlying maturity in a lot of areas. And every single one of those notes that I just mentioned rings true here. Because I gotta tell you, everything I heard about Gurren Lagann was actually true. It really was true. Now, granted, I'm about to get into some spoilers, so fair warning. It starts off with these two kids in an underground village. You have Simone, the sort of timid, sort of main protagonist of the series, and Kamina, sort of like a big brother figure, much more confident, you know. And the two of them get into all sorts of crazy adventures together in the beginning, but they live in an underground city, and they want to go to the surface, which they finally do after they find the head of what is known as a gunman. And more gunmen fall from the ceiling of their underground city. And it just goes on a wild, crazy ride from there. Eventually, it gets to the point where the reason why humans are underground is because the beastmen are oppressing them. And, they want to make sure humans don't really dwell on the surface all that much. Eventually, more and more people acquire gunmen from... See, gunmen are those gigantic robot mechs that are being driven in Gurren Lagann. And the beastmen are the ones controlling them. Well, eventually, Kamina and Simone, along with the help of a woman named Yoko, who is, the greatest probably shooter I've ever seen ever with a rifle. They take a gunman, they take the head of the gunman that they found, and they call it Gurren Lagann. And again, it's just lots of fun. It is. And it's much more different than many people think, because 8 episodes in, Kamina dies, leaving Simone all that's left. And, it's that sort of thing where, he is depressed after the fact because he did lose who was essentially his big brother figure. And, he remembers what Kamina would always say, and that is, believe in the me that believes in you. Which was originally meant to, sort of boost Simone's confidence. But it also helped boost Kamina's confidence back when he was alive as well. Because as long as Simone was okay, he knew he was going to be okay. And vice versa. But that dynamic is completely gone after episode 8 because, Kamina sacrifices himself. Well, it was really more of a cheap shot from the enemy, but whatever. And, he dies. So Simone learns to man up. And he realized that, no, I'm not Kamina. I'm me. And I'm going to be the me that believes in myself. So, eventually, he and the rest of the human race overthrow the Beastmen. And you would think it would stop there, but it doesn't. It turns out that the reason why humans are being oppressed is because we have something called spiral energy. See, apparently, there's a massive universal war between the spirals and the anti-spirals. And the anti-spirals eventually won. See, the anti-spirals fear the anti-spirals were spiral people as well, but they became the anti-spirals when they came to the conclusion that spiral energy would eventually learn to destroy the universe. As they theorized that, spiral energy comes from all living things and all spiral-related galaxies, like the Milky Way galaxy, for instance. Eventually, everything would mesh together and it would form a black hole, thus destroying everything in existence. Interesting theory, but, again, you could look at it that way. You could see spiral power as, evolution, which is exactly what it is. It just keeps going up and up and up, like a drill, and it's the main weapon of Gurren Lagann. And it gets to the point where they're having battles that completely... You can't even imagine just the scope of everything going. I mean, it's anime and cartoon logic, so they get away with it here. But normally, they're basically fighting each other on star systems and galaxies. It's amazing. And just a lot of fun. It is. So, again, I am more casual, so I can't really explain that much because I already know for a fact there's a lot I didn't talk about. But you're probably wondering, do I recommend you watch it? Yes. Yes, I do. But I want to make one thing clear. Because I've seen people online talk about how it's like the greatest thing they've seen ever, to how this series is life-changing for some people. And I will admit, as much as I really did like this, in fact, if I made a top 10 of anime that I've watched, I'd probably put Gurren Lagann in there somewhere. This was not the life-changing sort of thing that everyone else made out to be, at least not for me. I loved it a lot, and, maybe I'll watch it all over again. It's only 27 episodes, so It's about as long as watching a Lord of the Rings marathon, I suppose. So, if you cut all the intros and outros and the music, so yeah, you could probably bang it out in a day. Just like, again, a Lord of the Rings marathon. So, naturally, I do recommend it. It is possible to watch all day, and, we do live in a day of, quarantine and social distancing, so, yeah, you could totally watch it just fine. So, I do recommend it. You can watch it just fine. While it's not and again, this isn't even the best, anime manga I've ever seen. As of right now, One Piece is. But, well, more the manga than the anime, because the anime has probably Gurren Lagann anime, good anime. That's the main drive for me. But seriously, I do highly recommend it. It's fun, it has a wide variety of characters that you just fall in love with. And I think after this video, I'm going to watch the final episode again because, man, it is a load of fun. And I hope we all have fun today, too. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on social media. Trying to get you job. Very humble in this video for all of you guys who watched. Enjoy today. Hope we have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Remember, if you guys want to talk, the channel is going to be here to let you know. So back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.